right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Evolutionary Instinct Podcast. I'm here with my co-host Felipe Daza. Brother, go ahead, tell us what you've been up to, and we'll jump into this episode of today.
Just enjoying the holidays, crushing it out there, being free, having fun, enjoying life, because that's what we're about. Which is gonna bring me about our topic today, which is just how to just have free expression, how to be self-amused, and just have so much fun and give so much that it actually helps you. Like you're able to meet new friends, you're able to maybe meet a special someone, and just change your life and networking, make more money. And how can you do that? If you're someone that maybe
100%.
just when you go out and you just you can't seem to have fun, or you go out expecting to have fun, how can you just be that fun, how you can just become the party so people are just like running to you to have you share that fun with them, because essentially that's what everyone wants to do at the end of the day: have fun, laugh, and let go.
Absolutely, man. It's how do you become likable in general, right? Like as someone who's learning social dynamics or someone who's going out hoping to connect with other people, right? Being carefree, being self-amused, and being free in your personal expression are all qualities that's essential for connecting with people, right? And for being likable. So 100%, man. That's actually one thing that I struggled with too. I mean, I have a tendency, especially when I'm, either lecturing or coaching or working or conducting sales calls, sometimes I can come across as serious, right? But it's in the context of what's being said. Now, when I'm out in field, I'm very carefree. I'm very, playful is the right word, like there's a playful confidence that comes about when you're interacting with people. Um, and we're gonna go over many different strategies today, how I do it, how Felipe does it, and how we're able to achieve success in field when it comes to connecting with women, when it comes to connecting with other men of value, and when it comes to networking and starting conversations and really growing our network in general. So, what are some of those ways for you, Felipe? What was sort of the things that you do or that you've done that you've seen be effective here?
Right. So I think one of the biggest problems that, people have, and I've had this myself, like kind of happened to me one time, in a period of my life where like I feel like people just forget how to just like have humor and just like, enjoy their own presence and just like laugh at things. They just get so serious. Like for example, like I know a lot of people like they get to the point where like they need to have like some sort of like sophisticated joke in order to have something funny instead of just laughing at anything, just enjoying to laugh. It's like my question to people like that is like, would you rather laugh more or less? Right. And it's like you have built these standards for like what's funny, what's not funny. And so like you've made it really hard for you to have fun. It's like what when it comes to have fun for me, it's like how can I make it easy? Like the dumber, the stupider. Like you literally want to be like a golden retriever. Just like laugh at anything, have fun, share that emotion. Because if it's genuine and true and you are having so much fun, people are gonna feel it and they're just gonna want to join you, even if it's really, really stupid, right? And of course, there's times to be serious. Don't get me wrong. We all have our own lives where you have to take it serious and get to business. But when you go out, you just want to have fun and share and love. And so one of the ways that I like to do is just like this is something that I did like for a little while. It's like I had to like I just kind of like shut off my brain. And I just like start first of all, one good way is to just like watch comedy shows. Just start like like really understanding your humor. Just watch a lot of comedy and just enjoy it. Like don't worry about like the judgment or everything. Just like go, right? And the second one is just like you start laughing at everything. Like I would literally look at a guy walking certain way because like they're just like maybe dead in life. They just hate their life. You can just see in the way they walk on their face. They're just like walking. I would just laugh at that just cause I'm like, what does he walk like that, right? And
Yeah,
like at first it's kind of fake, but eventually you just kind of like you're like opening up, you're like training that loose muscle, and then you just kind of let go, and eventually you start laughing at like anything, which is the best, right? Like people when they drink and they get drunk, which a lot of times they do it so they can loosen up. Just think about
exactly.
like that. You're like literally laughing at the dumbest things. You're talking about the dumbest things, and it just feels good. Like you could be
Yeah,
talking. I remember. I don't really drink anymore. Like I occasionally ever, but I really don't like it. Don't recommend it, to be
yeah,
honest. I much
totally.
rather think you should give that same feeling that, drinking gives you just to yourself and be able to do it. That's true, control and your energy and true power, honestly. And I generally think, but like when I'm drinking, I remember one time I was drinking and just like I was talking to this other girl and I'm literally just talking about pizza and we're just laughing like crazy talking about pizza. It's like, what? People
It's
are
the
so
playfulness. It's the
yeah, it's like,
carefreeness.
what's the
Yeah.
perfect thing to say? It's like, no, just be playful, just have
Hmm.
fun, right? And the attraction between you and that person are gonna either happen or it doesn't happen. But you can also like create it through just having fun and leveraging that. Tell me what's how you do it, Aiden. I'm kind of curious because I know you're
Yeah.
kind of serious. I've seen you. You're very
Totally,
serious.
man. No, no, but in field, I'm definitely very playful. I'm definitely very much smiling and fucking with the girls and fucking with the different people that I talk to, from a place of playfulness, right? And you're actually right. It does create attraction because it is one of the main attraction switches, right? One of the things that we go over in our private masterminds is how do you trigger attraction in a woman? And one of those attraction switches is healthy emotions or the ability to emote, which also means to express your emotions, to express yourself freely, right? You have a range of expression, and they see that you're a healthy person because you're fun, you're smiling, you know when it's time to be serious, you know when it's time to be respectful. You have a wide range of expression, but of course, when you're out in an environment where people are dancing, people are having fun, you're not this one tense guy that's in the corner and mean mugging people. You're actually, a fun person that's approachable, that's likable, that's out there having a great time, right? And I love what you said as well, Felipe. Like finding the humor in everything that you're around, because life is hilarious, bro. It's a fucking like this whole thing. At the end of the day, bro, it can be seen as a big joke, in the sense that like it's really not that serious. We're all gonna die. Everyone you know is gonna die. What matters is who you are, the legacy you have, and in the short period of time that you have here. Memento mori, right? That's a Stoic saying. Remember, you're gonna die. So what? You want to be like tense and uptight your whole life? Or do you want to know how to let go and how to be carefree and how to be able to truly connect with others? And the way to do that is to be free, to be loose, because when I was starting out in the game, bro, back in like 2014, 2015, because I was a fighter, right? So there's a lot of mean mugging that happens in that world. There's a lot of dedication, seriousness and stuff. Um, so I had a tendency to like kind of like look serious, and I still do, but it's very calibrated, and I know when to present what. So I'm whoever I need to be to get the result that I want in that environment, in that context. So one of the ways, and again, like a lot of people, like you said, Felipe, they rely on alcohol, they rely on drugs, right, to like let go of their own tension inside to be able to be free, right? But that's a trap you fall into because no external substance should ever be able to, you know, should never be relied on an external substance, excuse me, to be able to fucking like feel good and to be able to move in the world, right? Those can be tools, but definitely not something to rely on. And I wouldn't even call it a tool because when I started in the game, I wasn't even old enough to drink, bro. I was like 17 and Canada's 19, right? Now a lot of people still drink illegally, but like it just wasn't easy. It wasn't necessarily super easy to get into venues. So, we just went with what we had, and what we had was no drinking, and of course knowing that's a crutch. One of the first things you learn on this path of social dynamic mastery or the path of game is to not rely on alcohol or drugs, right? Because when you do, it's a trap. Now, when you actually do it naturally, there's something that we talked about, Felipe, is state. You enter God state, right? This state where you're so free and you're so playful. Like you said, you talk about fucking pizza, you talk about pineapples, you talk about fucking anything, and it can be a fun conversation. And the way you enter that state, and I'm telling you, bro, like it's not easy to get there. The same way entering a meditative trance or an altered state of consciousness is not easy. You have to sit there, observe your thoughts for 5, 10 minutes, right? It requires some effort, but once you do, the high, the blissfulness that you can feel from meditation is unlike any other drug. And the blissfulness that you can get from truly entering state is beyond any other drug or alcohol substance can ever create for you because you become super carefree, your body's super healthy, and naturally your body's releasing the chemicals that make you feel incredible. And honestly, the way I found that is through volume and velocity, which is as soon as I'm going out, as soon as I'm going to somewhere to be social, I start warming up socially. I start talking to people and I start doing it a lot, right? Doing things to put myself outside of my own head and to put myself in a talkative state. And volume and velocity just means if I'm walking to King Street, if I'm walking to the bar district, or if I'm in some kind of an area and there's lots of people, right? If I notice something, I say it. I'm like, hey, you guys look like a great couple, like spreading good energy, right? Like remember you like off camera, we were talking about offering value to people, right? And how that makes you very persuasive and likable. Offering value and not expecting anything in return. Hey, I'm gonna offer a nice compliment there. I'm gonna, if I see these people look like they're cool, like there's a group of girls that they look positive, for example, great attitude. Hey, we have a venue, we have a booth, if you guys are out here celebrating, what are you doing? Okay, come meet our friends. You'll be safe. These are great guys, right? So we provide the value of a safe environment where these women can have an incredible time, right? Some of them are visiting, some of them aren't, right? But at the end of the day, offering value and making the people around us feel safe and feel good, right? I know
Yeah,
I kind of went on a tangent, but yeah, what were some of your thoughts on that?
I think I love what you said. I think a lot of people like offering value is huge because
Yeah,
I feel like people don't realize like when you come from like that space of not like offering value, and by value those, you just you generally just wanting to offer good emotions and just sharing like your words. Like a lot of people maybe feel like they're not good enough or whatever, like what they're saying is not good enough. But when you come from that position of like, of that flow state, literally anything, it's just you're just like, yeah, you just like put it in there and it's just like it's just valuable. It's like you're not expecting anything. You're generally just having a good time and they can feel it and they're attracted to that, right? And eventually
absolutely.
you can create something out of that. And I think a lot of people also get stuck on the fact that they're just like they become kind of like the thing with having fun is like, especially nowadays with I think this is huge to be honest, with so many content creators and like Twitch streamers, like they get a little clownish. And so you definitely need to define the line where it's like,
Yeah,
okay, you can't be a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, have fun and let loose and be goofy, but like there's a line where like I feel like people get a little clowny.
absolutely. I agree.
Kind of like you just kind of borderline like weird. You're like, okay, what do you like? It's kind of
You're
uncalibrated,
like dancing monkey, man. It's like, what
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck? It's
See,
like,
that turns the girls off, or the girls like telling
it
you to do
does.
like you're like their dancing monkey, and then you're wondering, well, that doesn't work. Girls never like they feel attracted. They're just laughing at me or whatever. And it's like you gotta have like a borderline as well too, where like you're not like this dancing monkey for them. You know what I'm saying? Like be
Exactly.
able to also like tease them and like playfully, like joke around them or something about them without, feeling like you can't touch them. Like don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Worst case
Yeah.
scenario, sorry, was that too much? Like playfully, because when you
It's
come from,
almost like a mature playfulness. I don't know if that
right,
makes sense.
right, no, no,
There's an underlying tone of maturity. Like you're fun. You're making even sexual jokes. You're super fun, but there's a fucking man making those jokes. It's not a little fucking boy. You know what I
right.
mean? And that's the difference. A lot of guys in the game, they realize after some time, they realize the power of playfulness. So they turn playful and like goofy, right? But then when you start talking to nines and tens, it's like, who the fuck is this little joke over here? Yeah, he's kind of fun to talk to, but like I can't take you seriously. You know what I mean? Versus some of the less attractive girls are happy and like they're wow, you're this person to talk to, but like what's the character? You see? So like when you're being playful, when you're being fun, it's the expression of you being fun and having a good time, right? But it's not the expression of some fucking um someone who's like doing all these things to get the
Like
approval or validation of the outside world. There's a
don't make
difference,
it
you
your
know?
identity. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like part of it's
Yeah.
like you kind of like make it like your identity. Like you're just like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to have also have like the core of like who you are as a
Yes.
person. Because I feel like at some point you're just kind of like compensating, like to
Yes.
so much fun and fun, all this goofiness that maybe you've noticed in social media. And you're like, this is what's gonna work. And like, yeah, it's fun, but maybe you're doing this to a point at a certain point where it's just like it looks like you're compensating for an insecurity.
Exactly, bro. And social awareness develops the more you're out and the more you go through these experiences firsthand, right? And the more instant feedback you get from your set, from the people you're talking to, or even a coach or your friend that's there telling you, hey, bro, do you realize you were leaning in too much? You realize you were coming across this way, right? So having good friends or good wings that are around you as you're going out there to practice being social, to go out and have a good time. But the only way you're going to frankly improve that relationship component of your life, because a big part of what we talk about is relationships, right? And the way you fix that relationship part is by literally going out and talking to people. And the way you get good at that is by going out and literally taking action and acquiring social awareness as you do. It's XP, right? You're getting those experience points,
At the
right?
game, it is funny.
100%.
Something. It's like at the end of the day, it's just like you're just afraid of an emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's kind of like me. Like it makes me think when I think back on my own life. It's like makes me
Yeah.
think I was scared of like I used to be so scared of like needles. Literally like people would be like would have to like hold me down, like the nurses would have to hold me down to get like a shot because I would be kicking the nurses because I'd be so scared of like that instant feeling of like that little needle just boop. I was so afraid of it. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of like how it is people like approaching girls who want to talk to girls. Like they're just scared of that like that little instant moment of like rejection of that girl not reacting the way they want him to. But like I say, if you just come from a loose state where you just don't care, you generally just don't care. You could just say whatever, whether she reacts good or not. You generally don't care. You're like laugh at it. You're like, oh, okay, cool. It's like you're talking to a little kid and like they don't even understand what you're talking about. You don't really care. You know what I'm saying?
Now I know exactly what you're saying, bro. And the mind can amplify things and make it into a big deal. Like that response that you had was a valid response. Your body is like, hey, there's pain, there's potential
Right.
danger in my system, right? But the way your mind exaggerated it, knowing you're gonna be safe, was what it was there too. Same way you're approaching your ghost. Like you think you're gonna get fucking knocked out. You think the boyfriend's gonna come. You think it's a trap because genetically that it is actually very natural to
Yeah.
have. It's like you're a healthy person if you have approach anxiety. That's very normal. It's just do you allow your mind to amplified out of proportion in your head, or do you like, hey, this is a valid response. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna talk anyways. You feel the feeling, but you take action anyways, and then you realize that feeling is very much in the background and it's not a big deal anymore. Right after you do it so many times, you're just not afraid anymore. You see certain guys that don't have approaching anxiety, oh, they have it. They just don't pay attention to it. They don't let it even be a thing in their mind. Right? It's a feeling that you feel, but you take action anyways. It's like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym. Yeah, motherfucker. Of course, you're not gonna feel like it. You do it anyways. And then as you do it, oh, I'm so glad I did it, right? I'm so glad I made the approach, even though there's that resistance you feel. And I think there was a book by Stephen Pressfield. It's called The Art of War, if I'm not mistaken. He talks about overcoming this resistance we all feel. The better you become at overcoming this resistance, you can even use that resistance as like a compass almost to like what you know you should be doing. You know that
Yeah.
if you do those things, you're gonna get better, right?
I remember you told me once, when we went out in infield, I remember one of the quotes you said was like, if I can, I must. I really
Yeah.
like. I was like, oh, that's
If
sick.
I can't, now I must. If I
I
feel like
yeah,
I can't, I must now, you know?
I always say that to me, like in the gym or whatnot. Like I remember one
Yeah.
time, recently I was at the gym.
Yeah.
I had like
Yeah.
one workout left, but I was like exhausted. I was like, and I was like, I said I can't do that, and I was like, oh, shit, I must. And I just went ahead and did it anyways.
Now I must,
Oh,
Exactly, bro.
I really like that. I'm probably gonna get that tatted, honestly.
Bro, it's
I,
powerful. Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
love what you had too. I think you had a tattoo on your neck. What did that one
Yeah,
say?
like still I rise. Like
Still
it's like
I rise.
yeah. And it's a
Bro,
sword. It's funny because it's like it can be serious, but I also can say like goofy, like in a way it's like, when you talk to all these girls, like they put you down, you're like, I don't care, I'll still get back up, I'll slay another one.
100%.
I keep
100%.
playing it all, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Just keep on moving and going. Because you never know, like, the party is everything that you want is out there, but you have to go and just loosen up and have fun and know that life is so full of like opportunities that you don't even know. Like you don't even know how good it can get. You
Yeah.
really don't know how good it can get. It's crazy.
Like you get to a point, we talked about this point before. It's like not making the approach hurts way more than making the approach and getting rejected because you're one approach away from a completely different life, from meeting someone amazing, from making some kind of a business connection. And when you do take action, you begin to realize this firsthand. You're like, fuck, I met this girl that's super into me, and she was just literally sitting at the coffee shop. What would have happened if I didn't say hi? Like you said hi, you got her number. Turns out she's into the same things you're into, maybe the same field of work that you're into. You have a lot in common. Boom. But like that, you would have never realized that unless you made the approach. And most people choose not to. But when you do, you stand out amongst everyone else, and it's such a powerful skill to be able to talk to anyone, anywhere. And you can literally start talking to someone. Here's this technique. Start talking to them almost mid-conversation, meaning like almost acting as if you've been talking to that person. So someone's like maybe like looking at something good to get, and I'm coming next to them at the coffee shop be like, oh, I noticed you're looking at that. Is that really good? Have you tried that one before? Yeah, this and that. Or they might have a badge. Oh, do you also work in this building here? I noticed you had this bag. Oh yeah, me too, actually. I'm on the fourth floor. This. I work in the real estate industry. Oh shit, what are you into? Oh, you're in finance, really? Well, maybe blah blah blah. And then you find some kind of a connection where there can be value exchange, and then boom, just like that, you started a new connection. Oh, you're on LinkedIn here. Add me on LinkedIn. Boom. If it's a corporate fucking connect, I'm
Right.
just saying, right? If it's a girl, like, oh, on Instagram, boom, we're doing an event. I'll send you the details. Always offering value, coming from a place where it's not so important to you how that other person reacts to you, but like you're just someone from an innocent place going out there, connecting, offering value, and then boom, realizing you just made connections, you just met a friendship, you just met a new girl, right? It's so powerful when you can just start a conversation like that, right? And one way to do it is just assume familiarity, assume you know that person, right? And talk to them as if, and then all of a sudden that person feels comfortable with you, right? A lot of it comes down to your tone, right? It's not just what you say, it's so much more, right?
And how you say one, like your perception offers value too. I know I've done this before. Like
Exactly.
I'm like next to her or something, I'll just tell her something about the environment or whatever, like
Yeah.
this, and then just like I say in such a like carefree, fun way. They're like, they laugh about it and just open up, like just that little joke or that little comment on the way I said it, and I just came across. It just opens her up, like, oh, this guy's actually a cool, fun guy that I can talk to. And then you build that comfort, and then you build all that rapport and whatnot, and then who knows, it might lead to a fun night.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's what it comes down to, bro. And I mean, a lot of people, how to be carefree, self-amused, get out of your head. What does that mean when you're so serious when you're outside? And that's what I realized was because I was in my head. I was worried, I was thinking about what I should be saying. I was thinking about a previous rejection from the past. I was worried about what could happen. Like all these thoughts that are going through your head, bro, they're fucking weighing you down, right? So how do you learn to not be so tense is to be in the present moment. Here's the secret. You're always in the present moment. You can't
Right.
escape not being in the present moment. It's just your mind is projecting into the future and the past. So all you have to do is literally let go of this attachment to your thoughts so much and literally start breathing, feeling your body right here and now. You can feel your heart pulsating. You can start almost feeling like the blood flowing through your system. You start to realize, oh shit, there's a lot going on here. And then boom, now your attention's on the present moment. Now when you're in social conversation, you're paying attention to the girl, you're paying attention to the person that you're talking to, right? And you're able to not be in your head and to be in the moment and to respond well. And all of a sudden you realize when you're in the moment, all the right things come to you. It's like you're tapped in, right?
Yeah.
It's like you let go, you let God take control. That's like the wittiest things come to you in the moment. Why? Because you're not thinking about the future or past. It just comes to you based on that interaction, right? Like really good comedians are good at this because they're so tapped in, right? The audience gives them something, you're ready to like almost have like a verbal sparring match or some kind of a frame battle where they, hold frame and they make everyone laugh at the same time, right? I have a lot of respect for stand-up comedians because they understand social dynamics very well too and frame dynamics, you know?
Yeah, and I think holding frame is a huge one. Like literally holding your ground because like girls or people in general are gonna shit test you, and I feel like a lot of people like kind of like are scared of that shit test. Like they're generally like scared. They don't want to be shit tested because like they just like double guess what they said or they either hurts them or whatever. And it's like no, like welcome it. Like no, just know that it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Like welcome the shit and be able to give shit back too. It's okay to get a little bit of shit, right? It's not gonna be bad. Just be playful and it'll be okay. And there's been times where like like myself, like girls like being gentle like me with me, and I'm being playful and they just be mean to me. And I'll just reply with like something playful or like nice, regardless.
Yeah.
And the girl will back up, the girl's like, oh. I'm sorry. Like they'll literally apologize to me and then continue to be playful with me or whatever. It's kind of weird, like how it changes. Maybe it's because from a previous guy that was rude to her, because like so much shit happens to other people and it has nothing to do with you. And like detaching yourself from that is very important, I think, because like a lot of times like we might take like a reaction too personal. And it's like you
Yeah.
never know. There could have been like maybe 50 other dudes who who'd been
Maybe her
just
boyfriend just fucking broke up with her. Maybe she's going through
right.
some shit. Who the fuck knows what
There's
what
so
that
many
person's going
things
through?
that could have happened that could have like affected the way she reacted to you at that specific moment. So like it's also about timing. Like don't take it too personal. Just have fun. Like move on. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so like that kind of leads me to like how can you like okay, you're carefree, you're having fun. And so how can you maybe go to like a bar? Maybe you even got invited to a party and you don't know a lot of people. How can you become someone of value that people actually want to like talk to? You're that
Yeah.
fun guy that everyone's like kind of eyeing. People are like, whoa, who is this guy? Right? How can you really do that? And one way is to social proof the venue, right? And it's that's where you just start talking to everyone.
I
But
love
then
that.
yeah, you get there and like you get scared, right? You're like, oh, how do I do this? One mental trick that I like to do, right, is just imagine the venue or wherever I'm at, it's my own party, and I'm the host of the party. And
Hmm.
as a good host, I'm gonna go introduce myself and get to know all my attendees at my party because I
Yeah.
want to make sure everyone's having a good time and that I'm providing the most fun out here. So I'm gonna go say hi, whatever. I'm gonna read them, and some people are not gonna be at the beginning. Some people are gonna be very cold to me, right? Because it makes sense. Who am I, right? I'm
Yeah.
like
They
this.
don't know who you are.
They know who
Exactly.
I am, right? And just the fact whether they know me or don't, like how much they know about me, it's gonna affect. Like it might not be because of your looks. Some people might be like, "Oh, it must be my looks," right? Might not be your looks. I've seen some really good-looking guys who approach someone randomly and they get a horrible reaction. You're like, "How is that possible?" They look amazing, right? Because it's not all down to looks. Sometimes, like I said, that person might have had a bad day, and regardless of how you look like, they reacted a certain way. So don't take it personal. Maybe that person reacted to you warm or cold. Just move on. If it's cold, then just say hi. Oh, how are you? They're not receptive. Okay, be like, yo, have a good day, and move on to the next person.
Exactly.
talk, make friends, have fun, and eventually that person will notice you talk to everyone else. You become that cool person, and from their perception, you might look like you know everybody or some people because the way you're talking to them and laughing at them, that now they'll be more warm to you next time you reapproach them, or maybe you like meet each other by the bar, and like now they're talking to you because they saw you talk to someone else and they're friendlier. That actually happened to me. I was telling this Aiden
Yep. Off camera.
behind the cameras like. Um, we had like this huge party in Toronto, probably the biggest party in Toronto. It was
Hmm.
absolutely insane, right?
Massive,
And
yeah.
yeah, in the beginning when everyone's coming in, like I don't know, like a lot of people. So, but I hosted this party, so I'm just like saying hi to everyone who's coming through there, no matter who. I was like, hey, how you doing? Right, regardless how they're gonna react to me,
Right.
whether it's hot or
You're in
cold.
state, bro. Yeah.
It
Because
was, and I
sheer
mean,
volume and yeah, minimum time between
yep, like the
interactions.
first
Yeah.
two people was like really cool, chill. It was getting
Yeah.
me. And I remember there's like this set of three girls that came in, and I just confidently, because like the first two sets went well, I was like, I'm feeling good. I approached them, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" They just like, give me that. They're just like, "Hey," like they just didn't look interested to talk to me.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's fine, that's cool." I was kind of like very minimal, like chat, like short chit chat, boom, boom, get to know you. Oh, cool. Anyways, I'll see you around. Boom, no big deal.
Exactly.
Moved on to talk to someone else. I ended up talking to this one chick. We were flirting, whatever. I mean, I about made out with this girl, right? But then the one of the girls from the third girl was like getting close to like me and
Yeah,
that
the
girl.
very the girls that were like
Yeah,
cold to you, now they see another girl giving you attention, another girl being super into you.
dude.
All of a sudden, oh shit, who is this guy that this other hawk girl's into? Now all of a sudden they're your friend because they say, oh shit, you know, perception is reality. You look like a guy that other hawk girls want. Boom, that's the most powerful attraction switch. They felt more attracted to you and they were coming closer to you, right? And that's the thing that I want to say. I want to say how perception is reality. So a lot of it comes down to how do they perceive your character. Just being good looking does not get you the girl. Just having lots of money does not get you the girl. These things help, but they don't get you the girl. What gets you the girl? Your character. So understand, you might not be the richest guy, but if you're working on yourself every day, you're going to the gym, you're reading, you're taking notes, you're seeing how you could have done better, you're on the path to becoming someone incredibly fucking great, right? So your character value is up and the way you interact with people, the integrity that you have, how well you communicate, right? So your character value is high. That's how I compete with many guys and I get girls that are used to having guys buy them BMWs, buy them fucking cars, buy them houses, buy them this, buy them that, right? Buy them this designer bag. I don't do any of that. But when I talk to the girl, I steal girls from these guys. Why? Because my character triggers, attraction to women a lot better than they can. My character is not needy. My character is one where I can create a variety of emotions in the woman and have her come on a ride versus the guy, all they can do is buy her things. Sure, there's a spike of like, oh, I just got something, but then it quickly dies because that guy offers nothing else, right? So like end of the day, whether you're talking to women or men, it's the character people sense. So how do you, express your character so that you're perceived as a high value person because perception is reality, right? And I love parties because, it could be your party, it could be your friend's party, but regardless, the way you move in that party will say you're somebody. And you were somebody who was social, talkative, right? Not uptight, not in a corner. You were just smiling and having a good time, and you were magnetic. People wanted to talk to you, right? And those that's how it's done, really.
Like a gravitational pull to you, and people
Yeah,
come gravitate around you. Is like a very powerful thing, and it'll get you all sorts of friends, all sorts of girls,
exactly.
fun nights. I've experienced that many, many, many times, and like something too is like that people like regarding like looks. That I know people like it like stifles them from like like going approach and just being loose. Like they're so fixated on this look, and trust me, I've gone out with guys who are like 6'5", guys who are like absolutely jacked. I mean, like they can't get any more jacked. Okay, they got all the muscle possible. They look amazing. Their body, they go to the gym every day. They're the gym bro, right? They super to gym bro that you think probably gets all the girls because they finally did they work at the gym, right? But guess what? You put them in a venue or something, they're terrified to talk to girls, and it's crazy. And like they're just scared of like a girl like judging their appearance not being good enough. Like, oh, maybe I should have lifted more. It's like, no, bro, you have plenty enough muscle, and I've
You're
seen it.
literally thinking like a girl in that moment. Oh, do I
Right,
look good enough? Do I look, am I good looking
right,
enough? No, motherfucker. Like, listen, as a man, I'm not here to be fucking good looking. I'm gonna look well. I'm gonna present myself well. I'm gonna dress well because I know the power of
right.
dressing well. There's There's a lot in power dressing, we call it, looking sharp, looking good, right? But I'm not going to be super concerned over how I look. It's like I'm going to be concerned about over how I act, over how I think, how I communicate, right? Actions, thoughts, words. I'm looking at the character-based things because I know that if my character is strong enough, if my frame is strong enough, I can take over the frame and be able to, you know, have people do what I want them to do or offer experiences where there's, great value exchange opportunities where everyone wins, you know? It's that collaborative way of thinking I look at it as.
Like that's the reason I'm even saying that, because like I've had like from my own
Yeah,
experience, a lot of guys can't even understand this because like they haven't put in enough volume to understand this.
exactly. Yeah.
There's girls who look at me and they're like, "Ew, gross." Like they don't like the way I look, and I'm like, "That's fine." And even sometimes when that happens, I still can create attraction with them,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I
Yeah.
understand, female nature, understand all these social dynamics.
Yeah.
You can still create attraction, right? So just because a girl said no to you in the beginning, you can flip that around. But
100%.
there's some girls who are like, "Oh my God, you're so hot," and there's girls who
Uh-huh.
are like, "Ugh, why you look like that?" Like I've got them both in each side, so I'm just like at this point, it's like, oh. Like it doesn't even matter. Like you start to realize, oh, it's stupid. And like if you do enough volume, you'll find at least one girl like that will like, oh, you're actually cute. And I've seen girls who've been with guys who are so ugly.
Yeah.
It's I don't like you be
Yep.
like it's
But those guys usually have something else going on. You know what I mean? Those guys either we talk about it, right? They're either gangsters or there's some high level artists or they have other things going on in their lives, which brings all this value, right? So like just because you're not good looking doesn't mean shit, right? Like for example, myself, you, even Justin, right? We're not the tallest, most good looking guys out there, right? But we've learned to make ourselves look good, make ourselves look presentable, right? And we understand social dynamics and we understand female nature, which means we understand how to trigger attraction. And when we understand sexual attraction or attraction in general, right, in this context of men and women, is not a choice, then you start to demonstrate those qualities whereby it's almost effortless effort and the women are drawn to you. You're non-needy, you're offering value, you're getting other women are attracted to you, you're a leader, you can freely express yourself, which is really the theme of today's call, right? You're so playful in how you are, like, who wouldn't like such a person? You know what I mean? I want to be around people like that are like respectful, that are on point, that are successful, right? So like, women are looking at like who you are and they're almost looking at your level of success. You don't need to be a multimillionaire now, but like the attitude you have says it all. She'll even get with you in the long term if you really have like a super hot girl that you have all these things in common and you're like, why the fuck is this girl with me? Where in the past she's had all these rich guys. She's with you because of your fucking character and how you make her feel and the fact that you demonstrate ambition. And you're like, hey baby, I may not be a fucking multimillionaire now, but wait, give me a year, give me 2 years, give me 3, 5 years, right? You're gonna see every year I'm different. Life is dynamic. Nothing is ever the same, right? So I'm consciously going towards my fucking highest potential. You're either gonna see it, you're gonna be here with me as I get there, or you're not. Either way, I'm getting there, right? And it's in your attitude. You don't even need to necessarily say it, but it's felt by her, and she easily banks on a guy like that because, girls also know, if they're smart, they know, you know, if they get in early, right, your stock value is going up, right? She's getting in early, so when it goes up, then she can benefit. There's always that. There's always like I found the relationship between men and women is often like it's almost never unconditional unless she's your mother. The only unconditional love that exists is between a mother and a child, I find, right? The father's love is conditional, and the love in a relationship is definitely conditional, right? Is she getting the things that she wants from you? Are you getting the things you want from her, right? And is it a collaboration? Or are you making each other better, right? That's what it comes down to. And part of it is the sexual attraction, which comes from qualities you have as a man. For her, it's the qualities she has. A lot of it comes down to beauty, but of course, her character matters too, right? We've gone over this in previous podcasts, but really, at the end of the day, I just wanted to really highlight what is it that makes someone likable, right? It's that carefreeness. It's that offering value. It's that, the person's not there they're not, see, like you can tell someone's low value in their behavior when they say something and they're waiting for your reaction. Did you like my joke? Did you like this? And girls feel it too, like, no, fucking loser, get out of here. You know what I mean? Versus like you say something, it's almost like it's a toss and go. Like there's a toss and go playful tease you can do. You know what I mean? Like like, oh, your nails look nice. Are those real? Oh no, they look nice anyways, right? For some reason, girls are always, I tease them about their nails, about their hair, there's different things, and they love that shit. Like they always respond to that, right? But it's a playful tease, and okay, right? And then there's something else I talk about, but it's having great conversation at the end of the day, right? Um, I find the way you draw people comes down to the quality of the conversation you had with them, right? So as you work your numbers, like you said, as you have the volume of interactions, right? You're going to find some of them are very high quality, some of them are not very high quality. But as you go through them, you have to go through them to find the gems, you know what I mean? That end up becoming really deep relationships in your life.
And through volume, you'll end up finding like the girls who can you're just like very surface level with, you can go deeper with. Some
Exactly.
nothing crazy because some like I say, it's like a lot of times it's just like about the feeling. Girls just want to feel when they're out and whatever. So maybe you just talk about what's your favorite color and like from the color you start talking about their favorite movie. Like you can direct
Literally.
anywhere. It's just like about that
Anywhere.
playfulness and you're teasing them and you're joking with maybe role playing. I do a lot
Yeah.
of times. There's like this bar over here. They have like pong tournaments
Yeah.
and sometimes and it's free to sign up.
Hmm.
But sometimes I miss them, and so I'm just like in the silent watching. But there'll be a group of girls playing or some girls playing, and I'll literally pretend like I'm their coach. I'm like, "Come on now, remember what we practiced," and they just play out. We're just like laughing, and every time they score, we're like high fiving each other, and
Yeah.
now we're team together. It's like,
Yeah, it's a playful vibe you had. It's like this funny guy that's here. You know what I mean? Like it's because the way you said it. It's not what you said. Someone might say, "Oh, that's corny," but it's the way you're saying it in that moment. They're all laughing. They're all having fun, right? It's the energy they feel, right? They hear your vibe. They don't hear what you say. They hear your vibe, right? And that's, I think, a key thing to keep in mind here. They hear your vibe, not what you say, right? So, what is your vibe, right? Is it fun? Is it carefree? Is it offering value, or is it, anxious? Is it not offering value, taking value, or is it outcome dependent? None of that, bro. I'm not outcome dependent. I'm fun and I'm offering value and having a good time. And
there's
that person's going to get more and more, attention, more and more people coming to him. It's going to be magnetic, and that whole quality, like that night you were glowing, like the magneticness comes from almost like your aura begins to glow and it's like people notice you. People come to you. To some people, you might be very polarizing and some people will not like you. Some people will love you, right? Regardless, even if a person doesn't like me, they engage in conversation with me, right? I can, through conversation, make that person almost like me, right? Like you can persuade people in it. Do I want to? Not necessarily, but say I'm gaming a girl and there's a cock block friend, right? And you just have to deal with that. So how do you do that? You do that by winning the group over. You get the girl by winning the group over. Her whole friend group approves of you, likes you. Then they're going to easily almost like give you time with the girl, right? Versus if they don't like you, they're going to pull you away, right?
dude, that actually happened to me recently. I didn't win over like the one like there was this one friend who
Yeah.
caught me, but like this girl was so into me, and yeah,
That's when a wing is so helpful, bro. The
her
wing goes in
friend,
and keeps them. Yeah.
ah man,
Were you
it's
running solo or did you have wings?
I was just solo,
You
bro.
were a solo game. Okay, yeah, yeah. It's hard, bro. Sometimes Magic 4, 5, 6 set, right? But it happens and you get better after it, you
You
know?
know, one way sometimes I like to like if I'm approaching a group or I'm talking to a group of girls, if I want to like attract sometimes like the girl that I want, a lot of times
Mhm.
I'll just her friend.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
You don't even
The
care about
target.
this one, but yeah, yeah.
Exactly. That's why we tease the target. It's almost like you disarm the target because of course if your quote unquote target is the most attractive girl in the group, commonly all the guys are trying to talk to her. So if
Yeah.
you're now the guy that talks to the other girls, wins the other girls over, it almost doesn't even give the main girl attention. Like you talk to her, you might say so. It's like, hey, where's our off button? Can I talk? Is it my turn to talk? You can dress her up, but you can't take her anywhere, right? Like little corny, cheesy jokes like that in the right moment can land well. And those are all classic game lines, right? But like those lines are just playful teases that makes the whole group see like what is this tease when we say a tease in traditional old school game would be called a neg, which is never an insult. It is always an indicator of disinterest. Because if you're coming in, the hot girl that everyone's always giving attention to, you now come in, you don't give her attention. If anything, you tease her, right? And you talk to the other people, and you come back to her, right? The group is like, oh, okay, this guy is not like any other guy, every other guy that wants to fuck my hot friend. This guy is actually cool to be around, right? And even if the whole group likes you, maybe some of those girls are attracted to you, but they still like you. Now that you won the group over, you'll have more time to talk to this girl. And when you have, time one-on-one with her, then you can develop it even more or engage the group and have them involved in the conversation too. But at the end of the day, the way you get everyone's Instagram, the way you get everyone involved is by winning the group over, right? And I had to learn that too, but I've lost so many sets as well until I learned that, until I give the girls attention, right? And then all of a sudden, you'll get more attraction from her as well, you know?
So something that you said there about the neck is like, it's supposed to be playful, but I know a lot of guys, when it comes to being playful with girls, they're like, oh, what am I supposed to be, the nice guy or the bad guy or whatever? And from my understanding, from my honestly experience, from what I come to understand, I think it really comes down to not exactly, it's not like they like that you're a fucking dickhead to them, right? It's more like, I think it comes more from like the position of value that you're at, right? Like when these
Exactly.
you're a higher value guy and they're like, whoa, this guy's someone of value. There's just naturally, you'll just have that natural like tension and sexual arousal that's just gonna happen from you guys looking at each other, from teasing each other, and it'll just happen. Because like just think about it, like it's like Drake or like like someone who they know, like maybe it's like celebrity, imagine they're hanging out with them. Like that guy could say anything really, and the girl's gonna laugh and giggle, and there's gonna be that tension just because she sees him as someone of value. So that's why
Exactly.
being carefree and just fun and being able how to raise that value on yourself is very key because that's going to be able to for you to have that opportunity to like create that tension between you and that girl, right? Where she
Exactly.
feel your masculine energy, right? And you're not like just this clown, but she can actually feel this masculine energy because she value because you're in the right position, right? Because if you're not coming from the right position, there's just like she's gonna be like nothing's really gonna land.
And you know what the high value guy does? The experience he gives the girl? He gives the girl the experience that she earned him. Do you
Except,
understand? You gift them the opportunity of the chase, right? So the guys that are easy, they have no respect for, bro. Like I'm around attractive girls all the time. I'm in their circles. Their friends are around. And the way they talk about guys is, girl, he was so easy, right? And when they say he was so easy, that means like they have no respect or attraction to that guy because he's not valuable if he's easy. If something is so easily accessible, it's not in demand, right? It's not of value. So the way you come across, the way you interact, the playfulness behind your interaction is like, oh wow, okay. She's like, oh yeah, like I'm like, okay, so what do you do? I'm a model. I do this and that. Oh, like you're a model. Like what? Like a hand model, right? You have really nice hands, right? Your hand model. Oh, or maybe one of those like Instagram models, right? Are you actually signed with an agency? Now, what this is a challenge, right? They love a challenge, bro. The energy of a good challenge, women get excited, bro. Then women just get crazy over a challenge. So you're a guy that challenges her. You're a guy that doesn't immediately buy the shit that she says, right? And she gets the experience of working for something, working to get something, right? And as they chase you, as they, look to get your approval or validation, if they're in that position, they see that you're someone of value. Do you see?
right,
But if they're
right,
not in that position and not trying to get you, then you see like they don't yet see your value. So how
right.
do you go about building that value? That's why as soon as we come across, we convey who we are, we have fun, we talk about our lives, right? It's almost a variation of like subtle flexes that's like doesn't come across as a flex, right? And it comes across as value, if anything, innocent, right? And as you're doing these things, as you're having this good time, she's gonna get noticed, right? Just don't give her too much interest too soon. Let her feel like she earned it. Then after she's demonstrated all these things to you, she's demonstrated some character qualities that you like, then you can show her some interest. I like you because of this. She's like, oh my God, really? You like me because of who I am, because of the fact that I'm so loyal to my friends, I look out for my friends. I don't know, fucking she says she's a good person. The fact that like, whatever character value you really enjoy, she's a great communicator, she's a great leader, whatever. You give her acknowledgement on something that the world does not give her acknowledgement. People, bro, when they're out there, there's so many people that are craving acknowledgement on something they've done that they're proud of, but people just don't recognize it. So when you're the person that recognizes that thing, wow, you're actually a great speaker. Has anyone ever told you that? No, but I think you're a very good communicator. And like the girl's like, oh my God, really? Right? Give them acknowledgement on these things that they've worked so hard on. They're gonna like you for those things, right? You're not just another guy. It's like, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so beautiful. Fuck, like I heard that 1,000 times. Thank you. I know. Thanks. Okay, bye. Versus wow, like you worked so hard to build this brand. What was it like starting out? Now, like I'm getting curious about her life. Now I'm getting, into real conversation with her. So some of these things are things to keep in mind, but I really wanted to emphasize that women like really want that gift of the chase. So gift them the opportunity of the chase and challenge them in the beginning as you're talking to them, because then now you're being perceived as a high value guy. You see how it all comes to character and perception, right?
It is all perception. Like I said, like they want to perceive you as a like higher value. Because if they don't think you're valuable, like no matter how
Exactly.
let's say you look really good looking guy, but
Yeah,
maybe she's a super hot model who's already used to, guys who look like tens, right? Who are chats. Every guy in her life who has ever hit her up is a chat. So if you're the next chat hit her up, that's not gonna matter, right? You could say something and she won't really care. It's more about your character and like your
yeah.
freedom of just
How do you stand
express,
out in her mind? Yeah,
right? It's gonna be that expression of freeness and carefreeness, not just relying on your looks, your personality. That's where like when girls like, I
exactly.
want a guy with personality. They do it does have some truth, you know what I'm saying?
100%. She said, I want
Right?
a guy with fucking character. A guy with that's fun to
Yeah.
be around, you know?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they get bored easily. Like girls get bored. Like if you
bro.
bore them, they might just leave you. And like some girls are like that. I think some guys like also like they're unable to position themselves as someone worth value in their eyes because I think and I've come to understand these honestly, it's because like of like social media, how they're like their dopamine, their brain is like so rotten with dopamine. I feel like they're not chasing like, you know, like they're just like chasing like the feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just chasing like that instant gratification instead of just like just being. You know what I'm saying? Of just
Hmm.
being the man. That's just be you. Like you're not looking for a response from this girl. You're just being you and share and generally sharing versus you trying to get this reaction or you looking for that response that's gonna make you feel good, right? You're just a man, grounded. No one can move you. And girls are gonna shit test you all the time. Like, even if you do everything right, they'll shit test you. And you want that. And you'll notice, and like sometimes like it's hard to tell. Like, this is where like you need more volume and get shit test more. Cause like I feel like sometimes like if you don't have enough volume, you won't understand when a girl's really shit testing you or not. You'll be like, is she just being mean or she's shit testing me? But like if you'll notice that if you pass her shit test, all of a sudden she becomes like nice. All
100%.
of a sudden, bro, you're like, what the fuck? She just went
Yeah,
from being like mean and like telling me all this shit to like apologizing and being super nice to me and friendly and letting me talk to her or whatever. It's like it makes a huge difference. It's just like just them trying to say like, are you really who you say you are? Are you really
trust.
valuable
Exactly.
man, right? Like, are you actually worth like somebody, right? Can you like also like if I'm being actually really mean to you, can you like stand up for yourself?
Exactly. Exactly. They do that test all the time. Do you have a fucking backbone? Because if I can walk all over you and I decide to, accept you as my man, right? Then the world can walk all over you. If I can walk all, what the fuck? You have no spine, you have no backbone, you could say, right? So like 100%. And a lot of it comes down to that. And I think you know, quote unquote, when people say, you know, putting a woman in her place, it's really a matter of communicating what your boundaries are and what you accept and what you don't accept. And if you go outside of those boundaries of men don't do this enough. Men don't communicate their boundaries enough. They let the woman get away with so much where even they end up resenting her because they never communicated their boundaries to her. Right? If you communicate your boundaries, that person's going to adjust the same way she'll easily communicate her boundaries. So why aren't you doing it? Right? You have to be a man who knows his value, who knows his worth, right? And as you're such a person, the right women are going to come. They're going to respect your boundaries, right? And part of life is, everyone's always changing. You don't know if the woman you married or the woman you're with is going to be with you for the next 10, 15, 20 years. People can change, right? So what do you have control over? You have control over you, your character, and being the best possible man that you can be. Because as you're being that, she's going to realize, oh shit, my man is getting better and better and better every day. His stock value is raising every year. It would be dumb of me to like jump off this boat, jump on another fucking, another boat, you could say. You know what I mean? So like, you better like, truly every day be putting in that work into your character because now, whether you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, if every day you're truly as a man working on yourself, now when you go in field, now when you go in social environments, now you're putting that character to test. Now you're letting the world test you, who you are, right? So now you get to impose your frame. You get to, impose your frame onto the universe and tell the universe who you are. And the universe is composed of all the different people you interact with, right? And all the different things you go through. So you have to impose your frame onto the universe. You have to tell the world who you are. And every day you're doing those things so that you yourself believe it, right? Like, are you just this bullshitter that's going out telling you these things, but you're not actually doing it? Or are you actually putting in all the self-development work to go out there proud in your character, proud in in all the work you've done on yourself? So now the world can treat you correctly, right? So that's why this whole journey is so exciting, is because bro, like you're building a dope fucking character in this video game, and this character is you. And you're like your own GTA character. You need to commit crimes and shit, but you can definitely like max out your health, max out your wealth, max out your relationships, where you live, what you do, right? life is so short. So like, why spend it doing shit you don't like? Why spend it being someone that your parents wanted you to be, that society wanted you to be, that your fucking girlfriend wants you to be? Why not be who you are, bro? Be who you are, and the world will respect it, and the right people will come that's gonna even support the creation of that character and its impact on the world.
Right?
You know?
And you're just like you're good enough. Like, and because you're good enough and you love yourself, you do those things, right? You don't do
Exactly.
it to become good enough. You're already good enough. What you have to say is good enough. You're funny. You're somebody. You get out there and like find your people, find your tribe. And something that I just thought
Love that.
about when
Yeah.
you said is like I feel like a lot of men part of why they also like lack that carefreeness and whatnot. It's because like they're needy for love. They're just so like love hungry. Like they're craving like this like feminine love so
Yeah.
bad. And so like and it's crazy because like even if they get like this feminine love, because I've heard like I've literally was talking to this girl not so long ago, and she was talking about how she like loves this guy, right? She's like, I love this guy, blah blah blah. Apparently this guy used to be her guy best friend, and finally she gave him a chance, and she's like, I love him. Oh my God. Right? She's like talking like how she loves him and this, whatnot. And I'm like, you don't really
Sounds like
understand.
her son, bro.
Right? No,
Sounds
no, no.
like
I
she has
was
a
like,
little
I was like,
boy.
I was like, he sounds like your emotional tampon to me.
There you go.
She's like, what? And you know what she confessed to me? She's like, yeah, I already cheated on him twice. I
Boom.
was I was like,
There you go. And there's zero surprise there for me. Yeah. She has
I
no
was like,
respect.
I was like,
Yeah. She's looking for a man. She's not looking for a new son. Do you understand? Like guys are out there looking for a new mommy that they can go with their fucking like, purge their emotions onto, vomit their emotions and their problems onto. She's not your emotional. Like she's not there to be your fucking therapist, bro. Okay? She's there to be like a companion, to be someone who's in your life that wins, that gets the benefit from your wins, that maybe even helps you win, right? But she's definitely not there to like sit there and listen to all the problems and like your inability to handle life. She's gonna lose attraction at that point, right?
I
And this
simply
guy, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
stop falling in love with the first girl that gives him attention. This happens so often.
Yep.
I'm sick and tired. Like first girl that gives him attention or gets attracted to them because of a certain situation where she viewed them as valuable. And so, maybe it took that guy for that moment to randomly happen. If finally, after a year, after years or months, he finally got one girl. And so now he puts all this love into this girl, and it's like it takes it so serious and like
Yeah.
he can have fun and go out. It's like, dude, guys, imagine this. I want you to imagine this. Like, imagine like your life and your understanding this would be so much fit. And you
Yeah.
generally would enjoy talking to girls, even they reject you. Like you generally view it as game, as like just fun, even if you get rejected. Because like imagine this. Imagine you have a bunch of like beautiful girls who just love you, who want your attention, and they're all trying to hang out with you. And you maybe bail on some of them. Maybe you hang out with them. Maybe you lie to one of them. You know what I'm saying? It's just fun. It's just fun, and they don't care. They still love you. And you go and try to talk to another girl, and they love you. And now you're like, oh, which one do I want? Imagine having all those options. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying you have to be like this player or whatever. You don't have to if you don't want to. That's up to you. Maybe you want to settle with one, but understanding and being able to put yourself in that position of a man role where you actually have options, when you have all these girls who actually want to be with you, and it's just fun. Like at this point, getting another girl is just it's just for fun. Like you're just like,
Position of choice and a position of having options,
yep,
right?
yep,
Those two things are so key. And the way you're going to get there is by going through your volume and interacting with all these people. This is, again, for someone who's not in a relationship, who wants and desires like a fucking fulfilling one with a really attractive woman, right? So, it's on you how you create your life. You can have multiple women, you can have one woman, you can have no woman that you're invested in, and there's several options that you have in your life. End of the day, you build your character. The important thing is to be in a position of choice because once you're in a position of choice, you can pick the person who's most compatible with you and your life, right? And I think it really translates to business too. Like, are you so desperate for this one client? Because they can
right.
sense it and they're not going to buy from you, bro. But if you have all these clients, if you're in an abundance of choice, you have all these different deals in your pipeline, right? They're all going to close. So you're not going to come across as desperate or commission hungry. You're just literally going to tell them, hey, I'm a consultant. I'm here to help you, right? Understand what you need most and to tailor the solution that's going to best fit your needs and your budget or whatever the fuck you have, right? The same thing, with a woman, right? Like it's like how do you get trust by not being so needy and not being desperate for it? You have all this option and choice. You're genuinely enjoying your time in her company, and she feels that and she wants to be around you because every other guy is so fucking desperate. You know what I mean? But like you must be someone of value if you're so calm, right? The same way the customer trusts you more because they realize, hey, you're not here just to get your commission and to make your sale. You're here to genuinely help them, right? And like, bro, like I've had I've been on some sales calls recently with like some big enterprise deals and like I was working with an account manager that like was working we were working together to close this deal, and this guy did a really good job in the sense of coming from a consultative approach, be like, hey, just so you know, like I want to be fully honest with you. This is not to create urgency or anything like that. Our price is changing for the first time in 8 years, on this date at the end of the month, right? So I can lock you in at the previous price, so that's why I want to talk to you what the next steps are so we can implement the demo and the trial period so you can see firsthand. And so before that date, we can move forward, right? And the guy was like, yeah, I really appreciate you telling me this. I don't think this is anything like that at all, right? And this particular customer that we were on a call with was a very no bullshit character, very like, hey, get to the point, get to the point. Like, I'm not here to like talk and butter me up and stuff, right? Just tell me what the solution is. Tell me, what my needs are, show it to me, right? And we already ran discovery, we already know what the needs are, right? And as we're showing him all these things, did that cover what you were looking for, right? Because I want to come from a place of truly being a consultant that's here with your best interest in mind, right? And once you have that, bro, people like to do business with people they like, they trust, they feel like they know, they like, and they trust, right? But that trust, money always comes to trust, right? And trust is so important in relationships. You have a relationship when you have trust, respect, and agreement, right? So if you have no trust, good luck getting a girl. You're not going to get a girl without trust, right? So being this high value man that's got options, being this high value, you know, person that's offering this solution, right? This high value solution that you're offering, you're not desperate because many other people want it and they're going to trust you and they're going to go with you. It goes both ways.
No, and opportunity is always there, guys. I mean, there's so many clients out there, so much, there's just abundance. Like, and a lot of people are so,
Massive, bro.
maybe, I don't know, they just don't wow enough. It's like they're so focused on one person, whether it's a client or a girl, and it's like, oh,
Yep.
like, and we've all been there at some point where we only thought that it's like there's only one girl, and like I get it. Maybe eventually you'll date a girl that's wonderful and beautiful, and there won't be anyone maybe like her, but you'll find someone different that'll be just as awesome, if not better, maybe
Yeah.
for you. As you grow, you change as well. So maybe you find someone that's more for your liking, or maybe better for the time that you're being involved with. And I just go out every time. I'm just like, there's so many beautiful girls. I
Straight
just
up.
there's just so many beautiful girls. There's so many options, so many business opportunities. It's just all out there. And like when you come from that understanding and you actually see it and believe it, like it really changed. Like all of these that we're talking about just becomes so clear and so easy. You're just like it's a joke. Like you're just like it's fun. It's actually a game. You're just like
Yeah. There's a
it's
reason why it's called a game
fun.
because it's not meant to be taken
It's
seriously.
actually fun because there's so much out there. It's like you're like what I'm saying. You think there's like a drought, but like if you just turn around, do a little 360 or whatever, there's like a whole ocean there. Like bro, just chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like enjoy life.
Opportunity is abundant, brother.
Dude, just
Absolutely.
let go. Don't get in your head of like, like just dude, let go. There's so many people out there, so many opportunities. Have fun. Love yourself. Like literally just love yourself. Stop looking for that outside of yourself. Give it to you. And because you give yourself, you allow yourself to laugh. Allow yourself to laugh. And there's gonna be some people who like try to knock on your jokes or whatever. Let them be. Like some people are just like, they just can't laugh or whatever. I still
Embrace challenges too.
yeah,
Like, don't run
right?
away from challenges. Amor fati, that's stoicism, right? I love my fates. So if you're shit tested by women, by other men, by the world, by the environment, you're ready because you've been working. All the work you've been putting in your characters is all for this moment. So now you're like, it's like, oh, why are you suited up so much, bro? It's like, why aren't you suited up? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can never be overdressed.
Challenge them. Yeah,
You
like
know what I mean?
challenge them back in a
Right? And you
playful way.
smile. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I like that. Like
You know what I
wanting
mean?
to suit it up, like
Yeah.
play, be a little playful with them, or like sometimes well, people will challenge me like that wasn't funny. I'm like, you're right, that was hilarious. And I
Yeah,
just
that's it's
laugh
like
and I
literally
move
nothing
on.
affects you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's
You know?
attractive. Like, whoa, this guy's like in more. Like, that's how I am sometimes. Like, I'm like this playful. Like, become have your own like cartoon inside of you. Like, you're just kind of like like Like, you're literally like emotionally immortal. You're just like
Yep.
you can kill me. Like, ah, dodge.
They can't touch you, bro. They can't touch you because
Like,
you're so in your own world, right? People will come to be a part of your world. Their world is too boring and negative. Your world is fun, positive, and is offering great experiences. So where would people want to go? Other high value men, other beautiful women, right? They want to be around the guy that's offering value, that's having a good time, good vibes, right? So, practical things you can do to get outside of your head as a recap of some of the things we've gone over is meditate and understand how to be in the moment. Okay. Being truly in the moment will allow you to not be in your head and to be in the interactions. Do you want to add to that, Felipe?
yeah, I mean, I guess to being in the moment is just like take a breather, get out, and just volume like talking, get out of your head, and just have fun. And like
Yeah.
eventually you'll find those like mini interactions that just like lower in the bar, right? Like you're just having fun. Like maybe like just don't talk to just girls, like talk to dudes, like have fun, joke
Hmm.
around,
I have a
you know,
great conversation with people around. Yeah.
comfortable in your own skin in that environment and like in the moment, like you really enjoy it. Because like
Hmm.
I know it can be really draining when you're in your head and you're like doing all these approaches, not getting the
Yeah,
reaction.
man.
Literally like mentally drained. Like you feel tired. Some
Yeah.
people like I've had it like I went out with this one guy and he was so scared to like approach. Like mentally it was taking so much mental space in his head that he literally felt sick. Like he went and threw up in the bathroom.
Oh
From
my
the
God. Yeah.
it was
That's
crazy.
how it is for people
It
starting
was
out, man.
crazy. To me, I was like,
Yeah.
it was insane, dude.
Yeah. So that person's got to work through their inner blocks by going out, taking action. So inner work and outer work, you know? I always say, as within, so without, as without, so within. By working on your outer game, you improve your inner game. By working on your inner game, you improve your outer game. What does that mean? By the actions you take while you're out in field, you improve. And by the work you put in to make yourself a smarter, wiser, stronger man, that improves your game, right? So you have to work on both, you know?
Yeah. Listen to the moment. That to me is like being like not to be religious, but like to me it's like being aligned to God, which to me God
100%.
is like the power of like creating and sharing and loving and
Yeah.
giving. It's that within you, that part of you that genuinely just wants to share and like grab
Hmm.
some, like laugh and like tell a joke. That's to me, that's what God is. Not
The
trying to put
creative force within you, you know,
right.
the vast intelligence that permeates existence, and like you can't put a name on it. You can only, like in meditation, you can connect to it and be humbled. Like, wow. And when I started meditating, I would laugh a lot because I was dropping so much tension that I was like, wow, I can't believe I was carrying so much tension. I didn't need to, you know? And then when you're out there and you have practices like meditation, you have practices where you go out and you're having a good time, you're interacting and connecting with people, and you have practices like reading Stoicism, reading Marcus Aurelius Meditations, reading Seneca, the Art of Living, right? That's Epictetus, the Art of Living, or reading books by Seneca, like the mental technology. We call it a mental technology because regardless of who's applying it, you apply that thing that, for example, Amor Fati, everyone's going to benefit from it. It's independent of the person. It's a tech. So using the mental tech of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, these emperors and these people that rose to great heights, right? Understanding how they thought, right, only makes you more powerful, right, as a man, right? So like I always valued wisdom because I know with wisdom and with knowledge I can navigate my way through the world much more effectively as someone who doesn't have those things, right? So that becomes part of your inner game as well. Reading, studying, working on yourself, right? And the confidence improves, and when you're out there, your character is stronger. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, like being present in the moment is everything. And like I think a lot of people struggle with that because like they're just disengaged with themselves.
Yeah.
So much dopamine and this and they're not working out. Like so I like working out,
Hmm.
not just for the fact of like, looking really good and looking like a Chad, but like I think working out really puts you to the present moment
So
because
important.
you
Yeah.
have to like, put in work. It's like something that you actually have to put work in. It's not like the instant dopamine and it
Yeah.
feels it actually grounds you and it
Yeah.
actually makes you think clear, like, oh my God, maybe who am I? Like what things do I like? Like how do I want to build myself? Engage with yourself. So when you go out, you can actually present yourself and you know who you are. A lot of people just don't know what to say because they're just like, do I even like what do you even like? Like, do you have any likes? Like just be normal, be a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, who
Good.
are you? Like, how does the world know this? Are you expressing yourself? Do you have a personal brand? Are you working on yourself? Like how are you communicating or expressing who you are to the world, right? The world's only gonna respond to you the way that you frankly communicate, the way you come across, right? So part of the game is building a strong character and understanding how to express it. So now the world recognizes it. Oh shit, that's such a powerful character. I wanna know this person. I want to be in this person's life, right? Women and men are gonna think that. So yeah, brother. So really to wrap things up, being present, taking action, and going out and connecting with people from a genuine place will take you guys very far. Anything else to add to that, Felipe?
Have fun and laugh. Like literally just
Yep.
laugh. Go out and laugh. If you're not laughing on a daily basis, like come on, like let go. Like literally sometime today, just start laughing. Start laughing at things, random things, stupid things. You have a best friend, go tell some stupid jokes and like
Find
genuine.
humor. Find
Genuine
humor in different things around
things.
you.
You start joking about things, start
Yeah.
some about things. Like find your humor again, find yourself again. Doesn't have
Yeah.
to be the sophisticated joke that people are gonna like when you say it. No, like it could be the dumbest thing, even if someone doesn't like it because you like it. And when you do that, and it's so funny to you, like you'll find people that
Oh
also find
yeah.
Like it's just like it's so funny to you that people are like laughing at the fact that you're laughing at it. Like
Yeah,
sometimes that
they
happens.
feel what you feel.
Yeah,
So are you tense or are you having a good time? Because they're gonna feel what you feel.
right.
100%, brother.
So just I think to end this to be free, just have fun, just laugh.
100%.
Won't kill you, or maybe
Yeah.
will.
Offer great energy. Yeah. Awesome, awesome, guys. Well, with all that said, we're gonna wrap up episode 4, guys. We will see you all on the next episode, and check out the link in the description for ways to stay connected with us for our personal pages and our vlog pages. And you guys will see us soon. With that said, Felipe, great talking with you, brother. We'll see you guys all next time. Peace.
Peace.